Yeah, this is Mo, the Radical Messiah, coming at you with another one. I'm going to talk about dealing with white supremacist fatigue. We got these suspected white supremacists and confirmed white supremacists running around every single day, doing all kinds of crazy stuff, talking to black people any kind of way. I've seen video after video after video of some of these police officers, some of these just regular white supremacists running around here. It's always something. So I seen a video where some white supremacist spit on a black woman, and we just had a Catholic school shooting by a white supremacist in Minnesota. There's a lot of stuff that's going on with these degenerate white supremacists, and I'm getting kind of tired of it. Because back a couple of months ago, they were talking about black fatigue and that brawl that happened in Cincinnati, where all those black people end up knocking out this Russian white supremacists and some other white folks around there, talking about black fatigue, black people, committing crimes and doing all that stuff. But not to mention, these white supremacists always commit crimes, man. They're one of the most violent people on earth. Trying to talk about black people and black fatigue and we criminals and all this other stuff, man. It gets really old. It gets really old dealing with these white supremacists, man. And like I said before in another video about working around these people and working with these people is horrible. I wish my parents would have taught me about white supremacy and working with these white supremacists on these jobs too. That's another thing that people got to deal with. Black folks, foundational black Americans have to deal with is working with these degenerate white supremacists at these jobs. Man, these people, these folks are something else, man. Oh man, these folks, these white supremacists get positions they don't even deserve. These folks, they love to talk about how lazy black people are, but they're some of the laziest folks you ever want to see in your life. Getting these positions at the top of the company, being like a store manager or a district manager, anything like that. They just pure lazy. Go outside, sit in their cars, and on the clock. These folks, man, these folks do not work hard, and they just get handed positions because they're white. And there's a bunch of mediocre white supremacists around here with top level jobs at the top of the food chain, at the top of the business chain, the company level. And they didn't even work hard to get up there. They just white. They just get handed stuff. They think that any white person is an authority figure. No matter how low level or how low IQ, they come from a trailer park, a low income, white supremacist family. They all think they got authority over black people, and I'm getting tired of, seeing that and have to deal with these white supremacists at these jobs too. Is just something. Boy, no wonder black folks be crashing out sometimes with these white supremacists on these jobs and these white supremacists in their neighborhoods, and you got to live around these people. You got to work with these folks. Yeah, man, I have a lot of white supremacist fatigue, man. It gets old and it gets rough dealing with these folks every single day. I live out here in Texas, and Texas is full of white supremacists, full of them, and anti-black racist, non-white immigrants, and got to deal with these folks too. A lot of anti-black racist Hispanics out here too, trying to be white, trying to attain to be white, trying to act like the white supremacists. You got to deal with these folks too out here in Texas, and you got to deal with these East Indians, these Vietnamese, these Asians, and these Arabs out here too. There's a lot of Africans out here too. It's for a Republican state, for Texas to be a Republican red state, there's a lot of immigrants out here, and you got to deal with these people at these jobs as well. So there's a lot of stuff going on in the news, man, with these white supremacists. You got Nick Fuentes, you got Trump talking about deploying the National Guard to Chicago. They deployed the National Guard in Washington, D.C. They got the National Guard outside picking up trash. There's a lot of stuff going on with these degenerate white supremacists, and I have white supremacist fatigue. Boy, I have white supremacist fatigue, man. It's hard to live around these people. It's hard to work with these folks. You just get tired of dealing with these folks, man. I'm just going to be honest with you. I live in the belly of the beast out here in Texas. Like I just said, full of white supremacists. You got white supremacist groups running around here. Patriot Front, Thomas Russo out here in Fort Worth. Oh, man, there's white supremacists everywhere you turn. And it's hard out here to deal with, man. So I got to keep my head on a swivel, keep my head up high. And just, try to replace the system of white supremacy with the system of justice. This is just my take on, white supremacy and having white supremacist fatigue. Basically just having white fatigue. These white supremacists out here are just something else, man. There's a different type of white supremacists that you got to deal with in Texas. I know there's white supremacists everywhere in the United States, not just the South. You got white supremacists in Montana, Wyoming, South Dakota, North Dakota, all up there, Vermont. You got white supremacists everywhere around the United States. You got white supremacists in Idaho, Washington, Oregon. You got them everywhere. Not just Texas, not just the South. They're all over the United States. You got white supremacists in California. You got white supremacists in Nevada, Las Vegas. You got them everywhere you turn. So Foundation of Black Americans, just keep your head on a swivel everywhere you go. Like Tariq Nasheed said, you're trying to start your own business so you don't have to work around these people, man. Because working with these white supremacists on an everyday basis is just draining. These emotional draining is just psychological draining. It drains you working with these folks. It does. And you got to live around some of these white supremacists too. It's just, you on the street, you driving them. Got these white supremacists, road raging. This is white supremacist fatigue everywhere you turn out here. So I just want to let these Foundation of Black Americans know that, hey, man, just keep your head up high. Just keep on believing that we can end the system of white supremacy. And it's going to be all right. This is me personally. I have white supremacist fatigue. You got white supremacists all on Twitter. You got these white supremacists everywhere, man, just talking nonsense 24 hours a day, 24/7, every day, 7 days a week, 365. You got to deal with white supremacist fatigue every single day, every single minute. And it really gets on my nerve, and it really is exhausting, very exhausting to deal with this stuff. So, I just want to let the Foundation of Black American family know that, hey, we live in a system of white supremacy. We have white supremacist fatigue. This is going to be all right, man. We're going to replace the system of white supremacy with the system of justice. This has been Mo the Radical Messiah.